Good day, everybody. Steve Przebrowski here. Welcome to tip number 48 in the series, 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exam. As a reminder, let's start from the beginning. As a reminder, my website, code3firetraining.com, has a free stuff link with lots of great free information to help you or anybody else that you're mentoring out there be the best that you can be, regardless of the position that you want to aspire to. Even if you just want to be the best that you can be, lots of great stuff on there for you or anybody else. All right. And these tips are based on my latest book published by Fire Engineering Books and Videos, 101 Tips to Ace Your Promotional Exam. In the green box below, you got a 25% off code. If you have any troubles using that on the fireengineeringbooks.com website, let me know and I'll see what I can do for you. And also, as we start, tip number 48 here. I've touched in the past on a few of the previous tips about getting involved on duty, off duty, and so forth. Being more than just the 8 to 8 out the gate person. I mean, we all know those folks. There's nothing wrong with being 8 to 8, 0800, 0800, or whatever your shift starts, but 8 to 8 out the gate rhymes better, at least, because I know not all shifts start at 8 o'clock. But, there's a lot of those folks that are 8 to 8 out the gate. And, my 4-day is my off time. I'm turning off the phone, not answering the phone, not doing anything for the department because I'm not on duty. And that's fine. No one says you have to. I mean, the main thing is when you're there, give an honest day's work. That's all we ask. But if you're someone that aspires to get promoted, and I'm not saying it has to be off-duty stuff. I mean, obviously on duty, you're there, make the most of your time. I mean, you're working at least 40 hours a week in most departments, if not 50 or more hours. Tip number 48 really dives a little bit more into taking advantage of completing special projects at your fire department. There's projects. You may not get asked to participate or asked to spearhead or asked to get involved or whatever in certain projects. Don't wait for that memo to come out from the fire chief or that memo from the training chief or the ops chief or the battalion chief that's in charge of the SCBA program or the chief that's in charge of the sports services program that, the apparatus committee, purchasing apparatus. Don't wait for them to come to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, Steve, you want to be on this committee? It'll be great. It'll be great for your career and it'll help the department. It doesn't work that way. If you find your passion, we all have a passion, we all have an expertise, and you don't have to be in all reality, it doesn't have to be your passion either. It can also be something that maybe you're not fully aware of and you want to learn more about. So that's why you want to get involved. But take advantage of completing special projects. There's plenty of them out there that need to get done. So many of our projects, we start them and then they get to like the 50-yard line, or maybe sometimes even the 5-yard line, 5 yards from the goal line, and then they just sort of get abandoned because someone gets gives up, I guess, or someone changes their mind, someone whatever retires. There's lots of special projects at your department if you go searching for them. So you don't wait for people to come to you. Take the time to reach out to those folks that run the apparatus committee or the SCBA committee, that manage those programs, and find what you can best assist the department with, because there's plenty of opportunities out there. I mean, it should be pretty obvious why. Don't do it for the sake of padding your resume. Do it because you want to make a positive difference in your department. That's why we should all do it. If you're not sure of what to get involved with, ask others, ask around, again, it helps to know what you really enjoy doing, so you don't waste your time doing something that you're not going to have fun doing, or getting involved with someone and you just don't enjoy. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to create your own, take the initiative. But before you put all this hard work and effort into a new project, a program, whatever you want to call it, make sure that, first of all, you're taking ownership. Because don't be that person that comes into the chief's office or whoever's office and just say, hey, we need to do this, or this sounds like a great program, project, plan, whatever to take on, and then just sort of throw it on their lap and then leave like most people do. And then they get pissed off and, well, the chief didn't listen to me. He basically just pushed the shit back at me. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Okay, anybody that already works 40 plus hours a week in the fire service, especially a chief officer, someone that's in charge of budgets or programs or projects, they've already got a full plate of stuff to do. Don't come in there putting more stuff on their plate. That will shut it down. You have to be that one that takes the initiative, takes the ownership, and willing to keep the monkey in your back. Don't throw that monkey on someone else's back. You keep that monkey on your back, you build that program, you build that project, but make sure you have the ownership, make sure you've done your homework, your research. Most importantly, make sure you have a sustainability plan, because there's so many great projects in the fire service that have gotten started and then everyone was all in. And then all of a sudden, a year or two later, someone retires, the program dies. Why? Because there was no succession plan, no sustainability plan. And it's not just about somebody else to pass the baton to, build your bench strength, find those other people that God forbid you drop dead tomorrow, you have somebody else, a team of folks that can step up and fill in. And it's not just about people, as I mentioned, it's also about budget. Make sure the budget is there to support it. Don't rely on grants. Grants are great, but they come with a lot of challenges, a lot of requirements that are not easy to meet. They're a pain in the ass in a lot of ways because of the paperwork involved. It's not just, well, we'll write the grant, it's good. Well, writing the grant's one thing. Honoring the grant every year with whatever annual compliance reports is another thing. And some of these grants have a ton of paperwork, and not just paperwork, but data that's required. You can't just check the box and expect someone to do it. I mean, I've been involved with, one of our SAFER grant, we got a SAFER grant a number of years ago. And I was the one, because my predecessors, I guess, had retired. So I was responsible for filling out the closure of the grant. Well, it's not just check the box. It's prove that you spent the money, show receipts, demonstrate this, demonstrate that. You don't just check the box and bullshit. You've got to actually put honest information there that has been vetted out and that you're going to be held accountable for, because you have to prove that you actually spent the money that you were given and spent it in an ethical, legal way of how it was awarded. So yeah, nobody thinks of those things. They all think of grants as free money. Well, sometimes they're matching grants, which is not free, especially if you don't have the budgeted money. So again, I'm not saying grants are bad by any means. They're a great opportunity and great option for many, but just like a program or project you take on, you've got to have a sustainability plan, and you got to have someone to take ownership and not just, hey, here's my problem. And then of course, expect the other person to do the work. That's how things fail. So make sure you go all in and don't just do it for your resume. And one of the previous tips I mentioned about, there's so many people, and this is for every department, so many people that sign up to be on a committee, the chief that's in charge of, say, apparatus says that, hey, we're going to buy a new truck or a new engine. Anyone want to be on the apparatus committee? You've probably hopefully seen those. And if your department's not doing that and not involving the members, you got a leadership problem for some reason, because the membership, the boots on the ground folks, should be the one that have a stake. Now, I mean, you may not make the final decision because of budget reasons or political reasons that are outside of your control, but at least the end user should have a say, at least, in what the product's going to be, because they're the ones who have to use it. But anyway, you see that announcement come out, make sure that you do it because you want to do it. Stay involved, get involved, show up to the meetings, participate, volunteer for stuff, because putting it on your resume just so you can have it on the resume when you go for the captain's test or the battalion chief's test or whatever promotional exam, that may look good on your resume. But I've been on the oral board sometimes where when I was in charge of the SCBA program, I had a lot of people apply to be on the committee, which was awesome. The problem was over half the individuals didn't do squat, but they had their name on the committee because they could put it on their resume. And here I am on the oral board, and then they're on the other side of the panel for their captain's test, for example, saying, oh yeah, I was on the SCBA committee. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you were on name. You never showed up to any meetings. You didn't do jack squat. You didn't reply to emails. You didn't help your brothers and sisters out in any capacity, short of just taking a spot to make yourself look good on the promotional exam, because you know that you're going to get asked that question. How have you prepared yourself? How have you gotten involved in the department? Yeah, make sure you're all in. I think enough said on that one. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. Feel free to reach out, connect with me on social media. And until the next episode, be safe, be safe. Don't do anything stupid, and we'll see y'all soon. Take care.